everyone, I'm Sherry. Welcome back to Sherry's Metaphysical Corner. Each month I offer an educational short on Biofield tuning with tuning forks and the work done on chakras or organs. This month's topic is the root chakra. And if this time, I'd like to give another demonstration on how I actually use the tuning forks in the field. So let's get started because there's a lot of information to go over. So the root chakra's vibration resonates at the C note in the diatonic scale. And in UT, in the solfeggio scale, which is 396 hertz. And let me just explain what that means. 396 hertz means the tuning fork is just moving 396 times per second. So it's quite fast. So that's in the solfeggio. And in the diatonic, that's what we learned when we were children in school. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's the diatonic scale. So the solfeggio tones are a finer pitch than a diatonic, but it's just personal preference. I happen to like it. The color of this chakra is red, and each chakra center does have a particular color attached to it, as you can see here. So the root chakra is red, okay? And vibrates, each vibrate at a specific frequency and color. So here's a description of the field. The energy field extends approximately 5 to 6 feet left and right of the body and front and back of the body. It's 2 feet above you, 2 feet beneath your feet. And this is actually, if you can see this, this is actually what our bubble, aura, or biofield looks like, whether you're male or female. Everyone has this energy field that's this size. The energy in the field appears to be encoded in a kind of timeline fashion. Information encoded close to the body is present day, or right now, recent time. Information on the outer edge, again, in the outside of that bubble, that's your 5-foot mark, is earliest childhood or your birth experience. So let me just give you a little information about that. I've actually gotten information from somebody that had a very difficult pregnancy. The mother's pregnancy was really, really tough. I mean, the delivery, excuse me. And the child is imprinted with all of that. I went back and actually found ripples of energy still stuck in this person from that experience of when they went through the birth. So it's kind of crazy what tuning forks find. It's crazy. This information can be physical, mental, emotional, or ancestral. Now, depending on where a pocket of energy falls in relation to the outer edge, one can gauge the age of which the information was generated. It actually gives us a timeline. So let me give you another example. So let's just say, and we use the straight edge tuning forks in the field. We use the body tuners, and we call them body tuners because of the weighted fork end. Okay, you can't really hear these, but these are the ones we use on the physical body. This is what we use to move the chi through the body. So the tuning fork with the straight edge is what we're using out here in this bubble. 5 foot is where we start at each one of the 7 chakras, and we move through the field. So if I find something, let's say about halfway through the field, and the person on the table is 40 years old, that means 20 years. They were 20 years old. Something took place that was challenging. Let's say the person is 60 years old, and I'm at the halfway mark. At the age of 30, something took place that was challenging. So it can give us a timeline. If your parents get divorced and you're 5 or 6 years old, I'm going to find something way out here still stuck from that trauma that you experienced going through that. Even though it wasn't directly related to you, it was your parents getting divorced, it affected you. And I'm going to find that ripple and help it release after all these years. So information appears in layers with each treatment, and pockets in each region generally relate to each other in some way. So these ripples we find are from challenges we experience in life. All of them, anything that we find in this field, it's only challenges that we've experienced, difficulties. So for example, again, as I mentioned earlier, if your parents are getting divorced and you're a little kid, falling off a horse, falling off a bicycle and you break a leg, losing a job. So as we're keeping it simple, these vibrations are stored in this 5-foot mark. around the body. And plants and animals also have an energy field of their own as well. It may not be 5 feet, but they also have one. So everything that's on this earth plane has a frequency around it. So let's break it down even further so that you'll have a better understanding of what I'm about to talk about as we continue. So as I move the fork through the field of energy at each chakra center, and again, each gives different information. So the root chakra is going to give specific information, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. The sacral, the solar plex, the heart, each one has its own information encoded, okay? So we're able to retrieve that stuck information in pockets and help assist the body bringing back coherence. It's almost like bringing it back to factory settings. An assist, it's all it is, an assist, and it's exactly that. That's what's taking place. The forks do not do all the work. The body is doing the work. The tuning forks are just helping the body find its right frequency. The body doesn't recognize its own noise when it's out of sync with itself until we actually introduce a tuning fork in the field. It has its own knowing, and it immediately recognizes, oh my gosh, I'm out of sync with myself. And because of this, your body starts to repair itself. The body was always meant to do that. Okay, so if it is stuck too long in the field, the body's organs will not work efficiently, becoming sluggish, and we're going to feel those effects. So for example, high blood pressure, fibromyalgia, cholesterol, inflammation, allergies. The list is this long of all kinds of ailments that can be wrong with a person because there's too much static out here, generally. So the organs vibrate at a particular frequency for each individual body. So we're all human beings, we're all of the human race, and we all have a spleen, a liver, a stomach, intestines. We all have all of the same organs, but we each vibrate at a specific frequency. So your vibration is going to be different than mine. So your organs are vibrating at a different frequency than mine. So that's why this work is so beneficial. So when they're taxed, they slow down and create dis-ease in the system, and then on to disease. So keeping the body at optimum health requires attention. The body was always meant to heal itself if given the proper attention. So like eating clean food, organic exercise, staying clear of people that are toxic and they have no desire to work on themselves, only complain, and we've all met people like that. So as we continue, I'm going to give you some more information about the left side of the root. So this is things that we want to be doing, but not taking action. No connection is between the thoughts and action, so you're feeling stuck. Also unmet needs. It's kind of like when you were a little child in the crib, and let's say you came from a large family and you were hungry, you needed a bottle, and you were crying and crying, and your mother couldn't get to you because she was taking care of another child that needed some attention. That's an unmet need, and look how far out that was. That's way back in the beginning, you know, under a year old. I'm going to find a ripple and release that tension that's still stuck. You could be 50. It's still there. So just remember, it's mental, it's physical, it's emotional traumas that are stuck out here, okay? So the right side, this is busyness or overdoing, okay? So it's overactive physically or mentally, thinking too much or busy doing too much, often guilt-driven. The right side of the body represents guilt and shame. Guilt, 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 guilt. I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not short enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not ugly enough. I got a pimple on my face. I can't do the interview. Oh my God. The list is endless of how we are carrying inner critics. So the individual representation of the root chakra is home life, sense of security, tribe, roots, groundedness. Associated organs to the root chakra would be your tailbone, legs and feet, hip joints, pelvis, colon, intestines. Okay, so the overall low energy, if you're feeling this, it's not sleeping, not well rested, and fighting infection. And healthy, balanced energy, it's thoughts and feelings that are in accordance with your actions. you're present in the now, you're comfortable at home, you're in the right livelihood, high energy level. You're just going with the flow. That's it. So let's break it down again one more time, a little further. I'm going to keep going because you guys are sending me more and more information all the time, how much you enjoy this. So I'm going to keep breaking it down. The left side speaks of things we want to be doing, being, or having, but are not still. For whatever reasons, we're still holding out. We're not doing it yet. So it's similar to wanting to start one's own business, for example. Thinking a lot about it, but you're not taking any action. You're doing some research, but you're not really taking any action. This would immediately show up right here on the left side. A lot of tension, a lot of energy here. It's kind of like the rubber isn't getting to the road, so to speak, and we're just holding the tension. We're spinning our wheels, and it's an inability to move forward toward goals, dreams, or desires. So now the right side of the root chakra, that speaks of being busy, but not necessarily doing things we want to do. Most thinking is non-productive, non-beneficial looping, constant looping. This involves worrying about the future, to-do lists, concerns about what other people are thinking, inner judgment, guilt, and self-critic. We talked about that earlier. We beat ourselves up. Western society, we beat ourselves up terribly. None of the other countries on this planet do what we do. It's crazy. People having lots of energy in this area are often trying, believe it or not, to avoid feelings of sadness. So as long as they stay in motion and they're keeping themselves busy, staying out in front of these feelings now, people will usually have a lot of tension right here and end up with right hip issues, sciatic, arthritis, and more. Look what's going on around the planet. Replacing body parts. Come on, people, what are we doing? Replacing body parts. We were supposed to keep all our body parts. We need to work on ourselves a little bit more. So it stems from all of this static that we're holding, okay? So back to the root. Speaks of physical home, actually the back side actually of the root. If there's a lot of static there, it usually relates to some kind of stress regarding the home. Renovations, clutter, needing a new roof and you can't afford one, flooring, drywall repair, uncomfortable roommate situation and possibly moving. Can also relate to the tailbone injury. So the root chakra is instinctual. The main focus is food, shelter, and survival. It even encompasses loyalty and honor to the pack. So we all have that basic support network. It's ingrained in us in order to survive. So when balanced in harmonious environments, and it all starts at home when we're little kids, the root chakra encourages safety. So I'm going to give you some balancing tips you can do on your own at home. And this is my favorite. Dancing. Who doesn't love dancing? Turn on some music at home, a song that you absolutely love. You go out with your friends and you used to go dancing, turn on that favorite song and dance around your house. Your body is going to love it. The organs are going to love it. Dancing and moving, listening to sound that makes you happy, everything is in unison. It's great. Drumming, a sound bath with crystal bowls or with Tibetan bowls. Walking barefoot in nature, fantastic. Gardening, again, you're out in nature. Horseback riding, I love horseback riding. And very importantly, don't forget this, forgive the past. We're very hard on ourselves. We need to forgive the past. If we hold on to too much junk, especially from years gone by, Aunt Mary said something that hurt your feelings. 15 years ago, let's say. She probably doesn't even remember saying it, and you're the only one carrying around all that crap. Let it go. And do things that make you feel grounded. Be around people that love, support, and help you feel safe. That's the name of the game. So there's a little information on this center. It covers a lot, doesn't it? That's why each chakra center is important. And you guys are getting it because you're sending me lots of information. So that's why I keep giving you more information. So let me give you a quick demonstration of how I actually use the tuning forks in the field. So let's just try that. So I'm going to use a tuning fork with a straight edge. I'm going to use a 174. So I'm going to just walk around the back side of this. So we're going to pretend that this is somebody laying here, and this is where their feet are, okay, out here. This is the beginning of a session. I am going to go beneath their feet and listen. I'm going to pull away about 10 to 12 inches, approximately, and I'm listening for a construct or a wall. That's going to give us information that this is where your Earth Star chakra is, to ground. So when I find it, I just kind of stay with it for a second. I hook onto it. I turn the tuning fork towards the feet now, and I send it's kind of like a lightning rod of energy, all the way up through all of the 7 chakras, up through the crown to divine source. And then I ground the person to the earth and begin. Okay, so now the person is well grounded. So at this point, I'm going to use the body tuners now. These are the tuning forks that don't make any noise purposely because you're using them on the body, okay? All the way up the body. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the feet. I'm going to go to the inside of the calves. I'm doing it backwards here for you, but that's okay. The knees, the inside of the thighs. I'm at the hips. And then we're going to do each one of the 7 chakras all the way up. It's the same routine, the crown and the third eye, and then I end with the shoulders, okay? Whether it's remote or otherwise. And I have people that participate across the globe, Bangkok, France, Australia, Spain. Can't remember all the countries, but there's a lot of them, as well as inside this country. So what I'm showing you is you don't have to be limited to coming to me. You can do this remotely, and that's why I'm showing you this as a remote session. It's awesome. No limits with this work. So as we begin now, I am going to find with a pendulum, this is another little tool that we use in the toolbox. Mine is a quartz crystal. It's called a pendulum. And what we do is we just hover the pendulum over each one of the 7 chakras, figure out where we're going to go work. So I'm going to start at the root and work up, and I'm just going to quickly ask, do we need to do any work on this person's root chakra? It's going to give me a yes, boldly, or no, without me moving it at all. And that's going to tell me if I need to do that. So there's 7 chakras, but we need to know if we're going to be working both sides. So that's 14, okay? So if I get a yes, do I need to work both sides? You'll either get a yes or a no. Because again, remember I told you, there's information on both sides of every chakra. So there may be a depletion on the right side of the root, but not on the left, okay? So we ask for both. So there's a lot of work involved in clearing a person's biofield, okay? So once we've done that, I'm going to pretend that this is the only thing that we need to do on this person. So I'm going to start at the 5-foot mark, like the bubble, okay? Just like what we did for finding the Earth Star chakra beneath the feet. Again, here it is, beneath the feet. We just hooked onto that. So I'm going to do the same thing out here. 5-foot mark, listening, hook on, and begin. Any constructs or walls that I find, I'm going to hang and wait, helping the body help itself. The tuning forks don't do all the work. They assist the body in finding its right rhythm. It doesn't recognize its own noise when it's out of sync with itself until we do this. So these are very beneficial. They really do help. They help assist. And we just keep moving through the field. This is the journey of life now. From here is your past, birth line. The journey is childhood, halfway mark, present day, right now, close to the body. Once we get to this point, we hop over, and we just kind of hang here over the chakra that we're working on. It's kind of like mixing paint. And what we're doing is integrating the clearer frequency into the system. And then we just call them straight up. And if there's any stuck construct, just like we found out here, we hang. So there could be one here, and we'll just wait with it till it catches up. Continue on. If we find another one, we'll wait till it catches up. And out. And we will have done that on the whole body, exactly in that process. So when we're done, we bring them back down to ground again. We go back to the shoulders where we ended, the crown and third eye, heart and throat, all the way down each one of the chakras, hips, inner thighs, knees, inner calves, back down to the feet. And then when we're complete, we use an infinity symbol and wrap the whole body, crossing at the solar plexus and seal it at the solar plexus. And that is the whole process. So I hope that you found this interesting today. I'd like to keep it short but interesting for you. So as I conclude today's session, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you are interested in any more information about this work, Biofield tuning with tuning forks, you can certainly contact me at energyworkstudio.com. That's my website, 1S between work and studio. Or you can contact me at energy4522@gmail.com. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Stay tuned. Stay connected. Bye for now.